Honestly, I've always aspired to be something great. A lot of people in my neighborhood always wanted to play basketball, be an entertainer, be a rapper, but I've always strived to own multiple businesses or have multiple streams of income. Now here is how it all started. Now, although you see me in this nice property that you see on this screen right now, this is not how it started off. Now, when it comes to real estate, the first thing that you want to think about is, why do you want this? Why do you want this piece of property? Is it something that you want to actually live in for a long period of time? Or is it going to be an investment? Or are you trying to do something like house hacking? There are so many different reasons why you might want to get into real estate, but you need to figure out, what is your why? You absolutely need to figure this out, because it's going to have a big effect on what you actually purchase and what type of house that you purchase. My why is, from the youngest part of my life, I knew that I wanted to get in the real estate game. I knew that I wanted to have multiple streams of income, and I knew real estate was going to be one of those vehicles that I use to have multiple streams of income. But a lot of people find it hard, and they don't realize that there's a lot of tricks of the trade. And one of those tricks that I found out is called house hacking. But what exactly is house hacking? Now, essentially, layman terms, I'm not gonna go into a big amount of definitions and stuff, but essentially what house hacking is getting a house or a piece of real estate and not paying for it at all. Sounds really good, right? You know, getting something, not having to pay for anything at all. But that is essentially what house hacking is. But the big question is, how do you do it? Now, basically, let's say you get a home for about $300,000 and you get maybe a 2-family or a 3-family, 4-family. Doesn't really matter, essentially. I mean, the bigger amount of families is gonna be the better option, but if you're able to get a 3-4 family, that is good for you. Now, I mentioned that house price being about $300K, and let's say your mortgage payment is going to be $1,900 a month with that 3-family house. Now, essentially, you can live on the top floor. You charge, maybe it's a 3-family house, maybe it's a 3-3-2, so 3-family on the bottom, 3-family in the middle, and a 1-family on top. And let's just say that you rent out the bottom and top floor for $1,500 each. You go ahead, you're pocketing $3,000, but you know, you got some expenses, so let's call it a calm $500-600 out. Afterwards, you're taking in about $2,500, and your mortgage is $19,000, and you're pocketing about $6,000, all while living rent-free, not paying for anything while you're on the top. Sounds amazing, right? Now, when you can start thinking about real estate in that type of way, it can start to change a lot of things in your life. And me particularly, I knew this is something that I wanted to do. And it all started with me having to start saving my actual money that I was bringing in, because in order to actually be able to put a down payment on something like this, you're gonna have to have some money to do so. So I literally worked my tail off, night in, night out. I was going out my regular job as a computer engineer, desktop engineer, and then at night after my first job, I was going out doing Shipt day after day, even on the weekend, tirelessly, saving up money, trying not to buy any Jordans, try to buy no clothes, none of that, trying to eat out less, trying to save up as much money for this project. I did this endlessly for about a year and a month. And honestly, if I can do it, you can do it. But doing this, it takes a lot of guts, it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of discipline to do so, but it is absolutely, positively possible for you to do this. But after doing this for so long, I finally gained and garnered the funds to do this project. So I was excited. The first step was finally complete, getting the funds to actually do this. Now that we have the funds saved up, The next thing that I would recommend that you do is go ahead and get something called a pre-approval. Essentially what it is, it's a pre-qualification for a loan or a certain mortgage amount. In some cases, agents won't even work with you without a pre-approval letter because it doesn't make sense that they go ahead and show you places that you don't even have the money or you're not approved for. Also, this pre-approval letter is gonna let you know what exactly your budget is gonna be, so you're not out here trying to get 500K houses when in reality you can only get or you only qualify for a 285K house. Essentially, you want to shop around, you want to talk to different mortgage companies as well as different banks, see who gives you the best interest rate, best service, and you make your decision that way. Now, when you're looking at properties, you have to put a lot of things into consideration. You have to put in the price, you have to put in the location, how much of a build you want the property to be. Do you want it to be something that you want to have to put work into, or do you want to get something that has been completely rehabbed where it's move-in ready and you don't have to do anything to it when you step your foot through that door? Now, I pretty much started my journey out in New York trying to find a place for, in my budget to get started with. But as you know, in New York, trying to find a multifamily house for less than $1 million, yeah, you're gonna have a fun time trying to get that, because absolutely positively are you not going to find a multifamily house for less than 500K to 400K. It's like impossible to find one in New York. If you do find one, it gets snatched up within, I would say, a day, because people are looking for multifamilies because they know that they're gonna get hella money in the New York market. So I knew New York was not gonna be the place that I was gonna go and look for a place. So I started weighing my options. I started thinking, okay, what places are close to New York that I can actually go to, but still be close enough where I can visit family, visit friends, and get to and from work without a hassle? New Jersey. Yes, New Jersey was where I chose because it's close. It's only about 45 minutes from my home, about 50 minutes to work. So it's right in the middle of everything. So it made perfect sense. Now that I knew where I actually was gonna get my property, the search was on. I started searching on Zillow, Redfin, all these different types of websites, trying to find the perfect property for my budget and for my personal needs. I began searching day in, day out, searching on these different MLSs, as well as calling up these realtors to find the perfect place. And I started finding a couple good ones. Now, I found this property, spoke to the realtor, made an appointment, and I was on my merry way to see my first actual property. Now, when I got to the actual property, it did not look how it looked like in the actual pictures. And to make matters worse, the realtor was an hour and 15 minutes late.
1 hour later.
Now, honestly, you would think somebody in the actual state or in the vicinity of the actual property should get there before you, but no, I was wrong. And sometimes I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, especially I know she has multiple appointments on the same day, but there is no way that you should be an hour and 15 minutes late. Maybe a maximum of 15 to 20, or be late. Don't even be late at all. But the fact of the matter is, an hour, 15 minutes late, it was kind of bad. Not kind of, it was pretty bad. And to make matters worse, you're an hour, 15 minutes late with a bad attitude. It's gonna be a no from me, dog. Probably gonna cease to have any type of professional relationship with you after this day. So yeah, I can't deal with that. Honestly, me as a person, I'm very chilled. I'm very laid back. So if you honestly get me angry or have done something to get me upset, that just shows how bad of a person you are, because I'm not easily offended and I don't easily get upset. So if you were an hour, 15 minutes late, then you didn't have the common courtesy to even let me know you were gonna be late. Then you arrived with a bad attitude. Then on top of that, the property that you showed me wasn't even in this, how you described it. So it was just it was just bad all around. So I continued my search. I continued trying to find a place for myself because I was not going to falter. I wasn't going to let this one bad experience stop me from getting started in my real estate journey. So I went ahead, I kept searching for houses, and I laid my eyes upon one that I liked, and I spoke with a realtor, made another appointment, and met up with the next realtor. Now, the good thing about this person was they were on time, so that was already a plus. I mean, everybody should be on time, but he was on time. That was good. The property itself wasn't what I was looking for. It was a little rundown. It was in a rough neighborhood. But the thing that turned me off about this exact realtor was it just seemed like I was annoying him the whole time. Like I was asking questions and it just seemed like he wasn't thoroughly interested. It just seems like he was trying to get through the appointment. He wasn't really interested in helping me find something. I just don't like to feel like I'm bothering people. So like after that day, I decided not to do any business with him, have him not show me any places at all. I mean, if you have any type of business or you have some type of service that you're offering to somebody, you should want to help that person because obviously it's a service you're providing and it's your business. You should want to help your customer, but good customer service should be served with a smile, or they should at least feel that you are thoroughly interested in helping them. And that I didn't feel. So I was like, nah. Now, after this bad experience, I was like, yo, am I ever gonna find a good agent? Am I ever going to actually find somebody that can help me through this process, actually help and understand my situation, what I'm actually trying to do, and help me find a place that is in an okay neighborhood with a property that I don't have to do that much work to, but I can still like see myself in it, and it's family friendly where I know I can have my family and friends visit me and I don't have to be scared for their safety. Can I find somebody like that, please? So after these two bad situations, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get back on it, keep on looking for properties. I found a good, decent looking one, and I made an appointment with the actual agent, and they were supposed to meet me at the property at 5. So get to the property. I like to get to the property about 15 minutes early just to take a look around the property, see if there's some things I can see before the agent gets there. 5 comes, she's not there. 5:15 comes, she's not there. 5:45 comes, she's not there. 6 o'clock comes, she's not there. So I'm calling her, I called her about 5 times, no answer. She calls me the next day, tells me she was busy, and I'm like, okay, if you were busy, don't you think it's smart to tell the person that you're not going to be able to make it to the appointment? Mind you, I live in Brooklyn, so I had to drive all the way to New Jersey to see this place. Don't you think it is better to stop me from coming if you know you're busy and wasting my time, money, toll fee to get here just not to see the place because you're busy? Obviously, you know that I didn't use it after that because, one, how do you not even call me back and tell me that you're busy? You tell me the day after where it's like completely non-relevant anymore. Like, I've already went home. I've already not seen the place. Like, I could care less that you were busy now. Like, I'm done with you. That's probably never gonna do business with you again. That's just bad way to do business, honestly. So it's kind of easy to say that I've been having like a very hard time with agents. I haven't had any good agents at all. It just seems like they don't care, they're not timely, or they just don't care to show up to the meeting at all. That is until I stumbled upon the diamond in the rough, which is my agent, Darrell. So I made my appointment through Darrell's assistant. And when I met Darrell, he asked me a very important questions that none of the other agents even bothered to ask me. And he asked me, what do you want? What are you trying to do? What are your goals, aspirations? What are you actually trying to do? And what is your purpose of getting this property? And this is why I knew things would probably be different with Darrell, because you think asking what somebody wants is probably an easy question to ask and a simple question that you think realtors or agents would ask you, but I went through these 3 agents and none of them bothered to even ask me what I actually wanted. So after finally confirming what I was trying to do, which was house hack, he mentioned to me that he's been doing this for a long time and he actually has a couple clients that have the same mindset as me and do the same thing that I'm trying to do. So he could help me out with that and find the perfect property that suits my needs. And that was just music to my ears. I was absolutely fired up to have Darrell in my corner, because now I knew that I had somebody I was looking out for me that I knew would try to look out for my best interests and put me in something where I would maximize the amount of money that I would make, but it would be something that would be family friendly as well as be in a decent neighborhood. So I was excited for that. Now, my experience was different with Darrell right off the back. The first thing was that on Sundays, he does something called a multifamily tour, where he actually goes and he shows you different multifamily houses. But along with that is he kind of shows you little tidbits and a little pieces of tips and information that can help you be a better investor, better homeowner, or just so you know, like for future reference, what to look for when you're looking at a house. What are some things that you can look out on the outside of the house and say, okay, that might be a bad roof, or maybe that's an oil tank that used to be there. That might cost a little bit of money. Things like that. So that was kind of cool that he took his time to do that on Sundays, not only show you houses, but try to educate you and make you a better investor, homeowner, etc., etc. So I'm not gonna lie, on that first multifamily tour that I went to, most of the houses were basically needed to be rehabbed. They completely needed brand new work. You had to do all the work and fix the house. I was looking more for something move-in ready, where I could just step my foot in, take my big couch and just put it on the floor and say, yeah, this is my house. I was looking more for something of that magnitude. Now, the first 5-6 houses were like complete duds. They were like all rehab houses, but the last one, he was like, yeah, so I don't know, this is not really in your price range that you're looking for, but I'm gonna still take you to go look at it. So I was like, all right, let me just go ahead and look at it. And my aunt was with me. He took me to this house in Belleville, New Jersey, which apparently is a very nice neighborhood. And the house was literally beautiful, like from top to bottom, brand new appliances, brand new tiling, brand new kitchen. The backyard was gigantic. The tiling, oh my God, I think I said tiling like 4 times, but everything was impeccable. It was a 2-family house and the backyard was gigantic. The backyard was so big that you could put another house in the back. That was how big the backyard is. Also, it had a basketball court, which was like just the cherry on the top. But it was not in my budget at all. But I was like, yo, I need to get this. I need to at least attempt to get this. So I was kind of contemplating over the last couple of days. I was like, okay, should I do this? Should I go ahead, try to bid for it because it's out of my budget? And then 3 days after I decided, okay, let me go put a bid on it. I decided to go bid on it, and Darrell hit me up like, yo, yeah, somebody bought it. Somebody ended up getting it for like way higher than it was intended for. And he was like, you should have just went ahead and put in your bid, because you probably could have got it cheaper because it was off market. So yeah, there went that opportunity. But I just looked at it at a grain of sand, like, yeah, I didn't get this house now, but obviously God is just putting, getting me ready for the house that I need to get, and I'm absolutely gonna be ready for it when the time arises. So I was a little sad that my offering get accepted, but I kept on going. I kept on looking. A couple of MLS searches and a couple of multifamily tours with Darrell. Later, we got into COVID, and things started to get bad, where you couldn't really go to view houses, and a lot of owners weren't letting people actually come in large groups to see houses. So that's when my agent started to really go out starting to do virtual tours and showing it on his actual Facebook account. So you didn't have to leave the comfort of your home to actually see a property. He would show you it. So it was really good that he was doing something like that, because being able to see a property and not physically have to be there is awesome. So I'm not gonna lie, I was getting a little discouraged, but one day after work, I got a message from Darrell. He said, "Hey, Brandon, I think I found the perfect house for you. So go ahead, take a look on my Facebook. I got a live stream about to go on. I'm gonna show you it because I'm taking a look through it." So he's showing the live stream and I'm looking through it. I'm like, yo, this house is like, it's beautiful. It's really nice. It's good. It's in my price range. I can afford it. Like, what's up? Can I put this offer in? And I went ahead and I put that offer in and it didn't get accepted. It actually got bought for way higher, like almost 100K more than I had put my offer in. So I was like, yeah, kind of sucks for me. But hey, like I said before, the house that you're supposed to get is going to come out to you. You just gotta, wait on it and just keep on going to these tours, keep on looking for houses and keep putting in offers. It's the name of the game. That's just what you have to do. Now, after he informed me that it was bought for 475K, almost 100 to like 125K than I had put my offer in at, I was like, shit, okay. I went on the MLS and I noticed there was a house on there. It literally was 2 doors down from the actual house that we just saw on the live stream. And to make matters even better, the house was even better condition than the other house that I saw. Plus, it was cheaper than the other house that I saw. So I was like, huh, okay. I was like, Darrell, did you see this house? And he was like, no, I didn't even know, but I can go ahead and check it out. So he went ahead, did a live stream of the house. And when I tell you that house completely needed nothing done to it, it was in impeccable condition. Like nothing needed to be done with it. So I was like, Darrell, I need to put an offer in on this house right now. Put in my offer right now. So I went ahead, I put in my offer for this house because I was like, I need to have this. It is absolutely beautiful and it is at, it's right in my budget range. So he said, all right, I'm gonna put the offer in. So we put the offer in and it was so funny because, okay, my first bid that I put in, we come back about 2-3 days later and he goes and says, so you're gonna have to put in another bid. About 17 people bid on this property and about 6 to 7 of you put in the same bid. So you all have to rebid and put your bid in. I was like, shit, okay. So that just means there's a lot of interest in this property. I'm like, Darrell, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put in all that I got. I'm gonna put in the top dollar of my budget and just put it in. We're just gonna go all in. He was like, hey, do what you gotta do. I think that's a good bid. So I went ahead, I put in my top dollar of my bid and I waited and I waited. So when I tell you the days was going by, I was sweating. All I could think about at work was, did I get this house? Did I get this house? And I'm just thinking about it day in, day out because it's really, honestly, it's a great property. And the fact of the matter is that it's at that price point, it was absolutely awesome. Now, after about 4 to 5 days, I got word back from Darrell and he tells me that, congratulations, Brandon, you are the top 3 of the people who actually put a bid in. So you're, one of the 3 bids that the owner is considering accepting. So I'm like, okay, that sounds good. That's probably further than I've ever gotten with any of the offers that I put in. So, that's a good start. So here I am again, just thinking about it day in, day out. Like, did I get it? I'm top 3 now. That's like 14 people that I ain't get it. So that makes my chances better. So I'm like, man, if I get this, man, oh my God, I'll never do wrong again. Oh my gosh, I need this. So after all those days passed by, Darrell informs me that I was selected a resounding number 2. So my offer was 2 and I didn't get accepted. When I tell you my heart sank, I was so in distraught. I was so sad because I was like, yo, I don't think I'm gonna get something of this magnitude for this price, because it literally was at the top of my budget, and every single thing that I was looking for in my budget, which was a multifamily, was hot garbage. Like, this would have absolutely just been amazing and been incredible to get. But I was selected number 2. He did inform me though that if anything did arise and the first person didn't do what they needed to do, that I would potentially be able to get accepted, being that I'm runner-up. So I'm like, okay, cool. So there again, I'm back at square one, looking through the MLS, looking for new properties. But it was just like, you know, when your heart is kind of connected to something, you know, in your heart, like, you're supposed to get it. That's supposed to be where you see yourself in. That's what you're supposed to get. That is how I felt. I feel like I was attached to this actual property. I felt like it was a part of me, like I needed to have it. So that's just how I was feeling. And I was just kind of like in a funk where I didn't want to keep on looking for properties. But I was like, you know, Brandon, you got to keep searching. Don't let hope die. Just keep searching. You're gonna get something. You're getting close. You were going from not completely getting considered at all to being runner-up. So it's only a matter of time until you actually get something. So I went ahead and started looking on the MLS again, saw a house that I absolutely, you know, I liked, not as much as the other one, but I was like, hey, go ahead, look at it, Brandon. Or, you know what, it's not gonna hurt. Went ahead, and on my way to the actual property, this was about 2, 3, 4 days later, I get a message from my agent. I got a message from him and he goes, hey Brandon, the first offer fell through, so I am excited to tell you that your offer has been accepted for the house. And I'm telling you guys, and excited, let's get it. I was so happy, I was so ecstatic, I was so just in, oh man, I was just so excited because I was like, yo, this is the first step to great things. So even though my offer got accepted, it was just the very first step of this whole process, because this whole process as a whole is a lot, and you're gonna get to see that as I go on and tell the story, but it's just the first step. Now let's recap on everything that you should have taken away from this part 1 of my story. The first thing that you need to do is you need to know exactly what you want. Are you trying to go for a house that you physically want to live in for a long period of time? Or are you going for something more of like a real estate investment? You got to make that decision, and you got to know what you want. Once you decide on what you're going to do, then you got to decide on where it's going to be. Are you going to get a place in Texas, California, New York? You have to make that decision, and you got to know right away. Next thing is you want to have the funds to actually fund this real estate property or whatever plan you're trying to do. So you need to make sure that you have ample enough money to do this. So do you have enough funds? And if you don't, you got to start working towards saving up towards those funds. So when you do have those funds readily available, you can go ahead and start on your investment. Now, once you have these funds, you can officially go out there and start to look. But in assistance to helping you look, you need to find a great agent that is going to be in your corner and help you every step of the way. I have to preach this because having a great agent is going to lead to a great successful process in you not only finding the best property for you and your needs, but it's also going to save you the headache of going through things that you may not know, because a good agent is going to let you know any hoops and things that you got to jump through beforehand. And the last thing that you should take away from this is you need to keep on putting offers in. Do not get discouraged, because this is a numbers game. you're not going to usually get your house on your first try. You're going to have to continually keep putting in offers, and you got to keep doing it, and you're going to be let down a couple of times, but you got to keep staying with it and keep on putting offers, because eventually you are going to get the big win. Now, this was a lot of information to consume, and I did have to create a second part to this actual video. So if you are still here with me, please go ahead, give this video a like, and go subscribe. And if this video gets to 100 likes, I'm going to post part 2 within a week. So go ahead, like and subscribe, and part 2 is going to be filled with, if not more information than this one, so you're not going to want to miss it. I'm Brandon Young, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.